This is big because it was always a question of whether or not they were really investigating him and gathering evidence regarding a...
On April 16th, famous singer David was finally arrested after a leaked video of him speaking about Celeste caught the attention of investigators. Variety reports that David has been arrested for the murder of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who was found in Hollywood in the trunk of a Tesla in September. According to the LAPD, David, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, was arrested by the Robbery Division for the murder of Hernandez and is being held without bail. The case will be presented to the District Attorney's Office on Monday for filing consideration. This comes after a video found on David's iCloud account seems like a confession by the singer, where the investigator notices the picture frame behind him is the same one in his secret rental home where Celeste lived. But they also checked the date of when David recorded this video, which lines up perfectly with the time investigators believe Celeste had passed.
Hey guys, I know I haven't posted on this account in a little minute, but I just had some words to share with you for 2025. Despite all the craziness that's going on, all the turmoil, the natural disasters, the pain and things like that, this year, I just wanted to tell you guys not to be discouraged and not to lose hope and not to turn your face from God in these times of evil. And then it seems like just at the start of the year, it's literally January and all this stuff is happening. It's like the most insane, it's February now, but it's the most insane start to a year that I've ever seen. But God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. So keep that sound mind, 2025. Stay prayed up.
Where David randomly mentions all the passings that have been happening in his life. Investigators looked into it, noticing there were no family members or close friends who had passed around the time of the video, suggesting he may have been referring to Celeste. However, this is where things start to get interesting. Many people wonder why it took so long for David to be arrested, and it's because they may have been trying to get his friend to turn on him. It turns out that David's #1 witness against him may be his best friend, Neo, as he was originally arrested for failing to appear before the grand jury. Once he was released, he posted to Instagram saying, "Thankfully, I'm legally fine in every way, and boy, do I got all my receipts for things." This led to news of an investigation by the state of California against target David Burke, where the target may be involved in having committed the following offenses. 1 count of M.
There is now pending in the Superior Court of the County of Los Angeles the above entitled grand jury investigation by the state of California against target David Burke, wherein target may be involved in having committed the following criminal offenses against the laws of the state of California, to wit, 1 count of... This is big. This is big because it was always a question of whether or not they were really investigating him and gathering evidence regarding a...
Although the investigator who has been looking into David's life over the past year wrote, "Hey, David, were you sitting on this hill next to a drainage gully thinking about what you did to her?" David took several suspicious photos in one night that gave off a dark feeling and looked very concerning. Investigators believe this may have been his unusual way of documenting the night of Celeste's passing. Although we just found out something interesting about David's case. David's family has been summoned to testify as witnesses before a grand jury in the passing of Celeste Rivas. This happened after David's Tesla was retrieved from the impound lot just 1 day before it was set to go for auction, which proves that despite David staying quiet this whole time, he knows exactly what has been going on.
Let me read you what Steve recently posted on X, okay? David's Tesla, the vehicle in which Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found, was held by LAPD for only 48 hours to process evidence. After that, it was returned to the impound lot for David to retrieve, which he had not done until today. The Tesla was scheduled to go to auction tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., and I had planned to attend and inspect it. However, in the final hours before auction, David, or someone with power of attorney acting on his behalf, picked it up. When I checked last week, the storage fees were approximately $10,500, as the vehicle had been released and available for pickup since September 10th, before Celeste had been identified. I hope just the thought of that vehicle haunts David and anyone else that knew Celeste was in the trunk for the rest of their lives.
Something that gives an inside look into what may have been going through David's mind over the last year was the fact that they ordered an incinerator to his Hollywood house. It was reported that a private investigator revealed an incinerator capable of burning at temperatures of up to 1,600 had been found in David's home.
Wondering just what it was that a private investigator named Steve Fisher found inside David's home when he was given access last October. The PI reported seeing, quote, items you would expect to find on a farm, rather than in a home in the Hollywood Hills. And today, we are learning about one of those items.
He had this inside his home, which the private investigator believes may have been part of a plan to cover up the crime from ever getting public attention. But what's interesting is that David's friend, Neo, had been living with him for much of the past year. Neo's involvement in the case started when it was announced that Neo Langston had been arrested for failing to appear as a witness. This was followed by the report. Neo Langston has been arrested in Montana on a Los Angeles Superior Court warrant for failure to appear for testimony. Lewis and Clark County expects LA County to begin the extradition process. Local news stations actually captured the moment he was handcuffed and brought into the police car. While many believe he may turn into a snitch against David, it's also possible he was involved in the process of the crime, as the two of them had become very close. They were seen together at a party and got very close by doing the Titanic pose and lying in bed together. You know who that person is.
Who that person is, and do you believe that is the person that moved the Tesla?
So I definitely know who moved that Tesla on that late July before they went on tour. I can't say who the person, and I don't mean I can't say but I don't know who exactly was in that house because it's just a report, but there's video, but you can't make a person out. But somebody was in the house, and being that there's only one key, it's like, okay, who had access at that time? So is it the same person that moved the Tesla? Was another last part of the plan about to go in motion as far as getting rid of her? I don't.
This led to the news reporting. This in no way implies any type of guilt, but based on Steve's recent findings and David's social media, it's very possible that his friend Neo was the last one driving the Tesla. Neo wiped his social media clean of David and does not follow him on Instagram, but an interesting theory revealed they might have committed the crime because Celeste may have tried exposing David with it written. Receipts show that David and Neo, who had been constantly together, no longer follow each other on Instagram. What happened to Celeste? And who put her in the Tesla? Did Celeste learn or witness something important related to David? With Neo's involvement being a huge part of it. A completely random report came out from TMZ at the same time. REPORTING. Celeste was found frozen in David's car, which the medical examiner says will likely make it impossible to determine the cause of passing. Police still see Celeste's passing as foul play and can make an arrest, even if the cause is undetermined, which got some creators to react.
For quite some time, a lot of people were curious as to when she could have passed away. If she passed away at the beginning of 2025, why did she only just start smelling in September of 2025? Well, according to what we are hearing from sources close to LAPD, it seems as if Celeste Rivas Hernandez was actually frozen for a period of time. Freezing up would preserve that for an extended period of time, and it seems as if she was removed from being in a frozen state and put in David's Tesla. And because of that, the medical examiner is likely not going to be able to determine a
However, the police department stepped in to say it was a completely false report. But private investigator Steve found more information. On the night of December 30th, 2024, David and Celeste were together in downtown Los Angeles, where several photos were taken in public, along with strange photos found in David's camera roll. But police wonder if the picture of the shed holds any significance to the crime. They also revealed the last photo of Celeste that has been uncovered. It reads, January 2nd, 2025 is the date of the last known photo investigation has uncovered of Celeste. It is important to emphasize that law enforcement investigators have access to more extensive resources and may very well have images or evidence from after this date. According to the image metadata, the photo was taken at 5:05 p.m. on January 2nd, 2025. Geolocation analysis shows it was taken in Baldwin Hills, as it shows Celeste wearing a ripped style hoodie. But it got even stranger when someone wrote, I saw this on Reddit. Is the hoodie circle not the one Celeste is wearing in that picture? As a screenshot from a David video showed, he had that same sweater sitting on the floor of the house the next day. Police also reportedly found this sweater that Celeste was wearing in this live stream.
Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which one? What's good, David? Big fan, mixed by me. Which one? Bro, thank you. Mitchell.
I gotta sign with him if you even.
We
need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
With all this new evidence against David, police actually took action early on, but not in the way many expected. It was reported there was a strange timeline surrounding David and Celeste. On September 18th, David transferred his Texas homes into his mother's name. The same day, Celeste was identified and found in his Tesla. Just a day earlier, police carried out a search warrant at his Hollywood Hills rental. On that same day, a police call falsely reported an incident and someone passing at his family home. When police arrived, they were met by David's parents, who said his younger brother and sister were upstairs, as someone tried to find David and swatted his family's house.
No, out of all times for this to happen, as it's discovered in his car, after she's been identified, for there to be a potential swatting incident where somebody calls 911 with a fake allegation, a fake crime for their property, out of all people, out of all times, it's weird.
Well, it's weird, but it doesn't necessarily surprise me because this case has taken on national significance in terms of people paying attention to it. And there are bad actors that understand how to bring somebody by way of swatting. So somebody called the 911 system down there. They found the address online and were basically made up a story for the cops to go there. And then they went in, and fortunately the police were very professional and they were able to immediately understand that it was a swatting incident and it wasn't a legitimate.
But it led to the question of where David was hiding because he wasn't found by anybody for a long time.
Do you have any indication about where David is right now?
I don't. I have no idea. And it's kind of bizarre because his group has stayed so silent. What's left of his group, I guess. And I'm not even sure the conversations that the owner did have with his management in breaking that lease. I'm not even 100% sure his management knows at this time where he's at. I think his attorney might be the only one, and his parents.
However, things get even worse for David from here, as he did something unexpected after Celeste was found in the Tesla. It reads, sources believe after David hired his new legal firm, he transferred assets out of his name while preparing for the police to close in on him as a lawyer, explained further.
No, transferring these assets in the middle of an investigation, as opposed to 2 years ago or a year ago.
Right.
Could a court look at this and say, this was a deliberate attempt to what you say, concealing assets, and they could breach it, they could pierce it, they could say, even though that you've transferred this into your mother's name, that was invalid. This is a way for, let's say, a plaintiff who sues him, or let's say in a criminal judgment to pay that fine. Can a court look at that and say, even though you transferred it, it's still open season on those properties?
Yeah, this is what's so puzzling about this. It is a very basic premise of law throughout the country that you can't transfer assets after the event happens that would otherwise trigger collecting on those assets. So we have rules in different states. Sometimes they're called fraudulent transfers. Sometimes they're called fraudulent conveyances. There's a lot of different names for them. But the crux of it is you cannot transfer assets.
But with David trying to outsmart the feds by moving his assets, it may not work out for him. Before his arrest, fans dug up old interviews that made people question David even more. As he said, he wanted to live on an island with no social media in 4 years, which was the exact timing of when Celeste would have been an adult and could have left the country.
Do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Okay, so the plan is hopefully this music thing takes off crazy next year.
Why is he saying, why are you saying that like you're not like up there?
Well, I'm not there yet, but hopefully
okay.
it's like even crazier next year. And then I go on crazy year after year for the next 3 years. And then on the 4th year, I retire. And on the 5th year, I'm off the grid, living somewhere like on an island with this crazy crib. No social media, no digital footprint. I'm just gone. I'm just gone. In 5 years, I'm gonna be gone.
Will you still remember me?
Yeah, bro. You'll have like the secret codes to the mansion.
Yeah?
You can pull up on every.
What's the secret code? Give us the first 2 numbers.
Absolutely not.
But there was also this blue wig found, which Celeste and David both happened to wear at different times, further proving they were connected through wearing the same accessories. But David's second interview clip is concerning, as he talked about how he had an anime story that he used in music videos where he had an alter ego that committed crimes. Now, people are wondering if he was simply exposing his hidden side to the world.
Basically, an agent of chaos and kind of my alter ego, and the story of the manga went like I was a detective and there was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at random moments, kind of like Fight Club with Tyler Durden. And he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as the detective. So like when I was as the detective, I'd be like solving that I'm committing myself. And it was like a cool little story. I didn't think anything would come of it. Like it was.
One viral reply read, there's hundreds of crimes he could have used as his example when describing his alter ego. And he chose to say that. I can't be the only one seeing how obvious this all is. Right. But what's very interesting is that the only activity we saw from David in the months since Celeste was found was him playing Fortnite while in hiding. If anyone's wondering where David is at, he's lurking and has been playing Fortnite just recently, as people looked up his Fortnite account and realized it had been active recently at the time. The account has since been privated, so it could no longer be tracked. This had fans commenting, "There's no way that's David's first response to all of this happening. If he knows he's innocent, he should have gone about this differently." However, comment if you think David is guilty and like the video if you want him to be found guilty.